God is good. Let the congregation speak. We still here though. Roll the ups and downs. Church music. It feel like church music. Curtis Mayfield, testimony of those that only murdering straight kids. But they live check to check, so for certain they don't make wills. Government assistance, so they ain't worried when they pay bills. Finessing the connect, word of burden for fake bills. Couple niggas dropped dead, I heard it was them fake pills. Fed dropped the charge, he still serving his state still. Niggas in my hood might serve you up at H still. Many nights, mama love wasn't there. Love you, mama. I'm not trying to say that kind of love wasn't there. But when they was cooking up the base, all them drugs in the air. But no food in the fridge, nigga, that grub wasn't there. I don't know too many homies turned banging blood a career. Eastside, bitch, I'm from Harlem, I was banging blood everywhere. Everywhere I was flamed up, like a slave, I was chained up. Stumbling out the club, top LA, pull a range up. With my truck at? Wasn't the type that you could send to the store. Never. And bitch, when I drip, you know I might fend you the floor. Mark that shit up. 40 on the waist with F&N's in the car. Not slipping shit. Okay. Pray for church. Come on. Okay. C'est la vie on the beach on Congolese. I'm smoking, looking for peace. I pray for the Middle East. Trinity, yeah, pretty face, unique like Mona Lisa. I spit and I release this venom between my teeth.
Adam 22 said.
Oh, I had the mute button on. What's good with it, Cookie? Can you hear me?
Hey, yes, I hear you.
Okay. Now that sounds better. Now we getting things together. What's good? What's good with it, everybody? Welcome. Good vibes only. Y'all already know what it is over here tonight. We're gonna try to do a little bit different over here tonight. We're gonna be catching up on up on this Diddy trial. We only at day 2, so it ain't much to really go over. You know what I'm saying? But before we get started, I'd like for everybody to hit that like button. Make sure you share and subscribe to the channel in case you're not already. Please do so. And okay, so since I won't do the first part, Cookie. So we're not gonna leave it. Nah, I'll do it. I'm just playing. So as we get started, or should I say before we get started, I'd like to say rest in peace to this good brother right here. His name is Phil Robinson. In case y'all don't know him, okay, he's a big record exec over there. They used to work at with P. Diddy for I guess 30 years plus over there at Bad Boy Entertainment, and he also played. If anybody remember that little TV, what do you call it, like a reality show, documentary, real whatever, Making of the Band. He also was in that over there. So you know. In case y'all want to know any further information up on them, you can go check them out over there, whatever, you know. I just wanted to say that, get that out of the way. And Oh, oh yeah, and also one more person, my guy Parquet from over at he's a rapper too from Chicago, from over there with Bum J and the Goon Squad. I like to say rest in peace to that good brother too. You know, who died a couple of weeks ago during that same week as that good brother Phil Robinson. And okay, wait, Cookie, you know what? Okay, so hold on, take over for me for a second. Let me get this back up here. Something. Damn. Hold on, take over.
Blessings, everybody. I pray everybody's doing well tonight. I miss y'all. I keep saying I'm coming. I'm coming, y'all. I'm coming. Girl recuperating. Girl is recuperating. I hope everybody having a blessed new spring year. Is we in spring? Yeah, we in spring. I've been trying to, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't been trying to do shit, but I've been having people help me do my flower bed, and they're coming out so beautiful. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. Let's be shaking and rocking.
You got a flower bed?
Yeah. I've been trying to do my yard and my front. What was that? That's all. My front flower bed,
Mm-hmm.
but it's hard for me to do because of my leg. So my sister, Auntie, been helping me. Auntie sister been helping me. So I have to kind of work on her time, but she's really good. She has a very good green thumb. I just like them. I don't know. I don't have a green thumb. I said just plant something that's gonna keep coming back every year. Because if it's up to me to do anything with it, they're gonna die. They're gonna die. I tell you.
I ain't gonna die. I ain't gonna die.
But whoever did it before we moved here, they have these. I don't even know what they're called. I forget what my sister called them, but they came back. So they're like yellow and green. These like plant flowers. Oh my God, they're so gorgeous. What are you doing, David?
Yeah, I'm trying to. Now, where is my little?
Gosh.
I don't know, right? For my.
Hello, everybody in the chat. I can't see who's in the chat right now. Oh, yes, I can. I don't know what I'm saying.
Welcome to everybody that's coming in.
I'm trying to multitask with one leg.
Uh-oh. That ain't always good to do, huh?
Shit, as bad as it is, I gotta pat myself on the back. Cause big girl with all this booty is
You
hopping along pretty damn good. Driving before the doctor told me I could drive. I was last weekend, the 27th, the weekend of the 27th, last Sunday. Was that last Sunday? Not this
yeah.
past Sunday, Sunday before last. My grandbaby turned 8, so we had a skating party for. Girl, he was feeling so good, I was ready to throw on some skates. But of course, everybody, I tell you, never not. If you fall, you're gonna have to have surgery again on that knee and the doctor. So I got a little scared. It was hurting a little bit, but I don't know. I seen everybody skating. I was like, I think I can do it. But I was like, let me not be stupid. I wanted to get on some skates so bad.
Okay, give me a second here. I'm trying to see. I didn't. I don't know what happened to my little.
Oh God, how am I gonna carry all this stuff? I have to put you in my back pocket. Hopefully my camera don't come out. Then y'all gonna see my booty. A booty.
I'm having. I don't know what. Why is it? Okay, so
Why don't you just
as we
talk while you're doing whatever you're doing? Can you
as we doing,
multitask?
well, as we know right now, we know that P Diddy is being charged, right? We know that P Diddy is being charged with 3 counts. One charge is racketeering, which consists of coercing a criminal enterprise. We got the second count. You got 2 counts of sex trafficking, which consists of harboring and transporting alleged victims. Then we got a third count, 2 counts of transporting to engage in prostitution for sex and for sex purposes. How do you feel about that?
That's what the charges is. I mean, ain't nothing to feel about it. It is what it is. Um, until the evidence is presented and we get the facts, all we can do is assume. I mean, we would like to assume, or maybe some of us won't like to assume, that the government probably got the case lined up the way they wanted to have. In order to bring those charges, I would think you got some form of evidence. Now, will the jury find them guilty of it? Will it be believable? Who knows? We
Right.
just have to wait and see how they got to that point, why those charges were. Me personally, with anything when it comes to sex charges, especially when it's freaky sex, it's not a
Mm-hmm.
crime. In the beginning,
Right.
I think I
Not
said
when it's
it.
not when it's consensual, right?
In the beginning, what I said, what I thought, even with all the baby oil and all that shit. Of course, we already know that Cassidy, whatever her name is, yeah, that was bad. But of course, he's not being charged for that. But going by with the raid, the information we got from the raid, the only thing I can say that he would be guilty of would be the firearms. Because why would you unface the numbers on a gun if it was legal to have? Because we know who you are. You need protection. You got, your security. So, it's understandable. Who don't have guns these days? You know? And if there was some form of um, sexual acts unwanted, was it done by drugging someone? So was it consensual or not? Those are the charges that I would think, or what I believe he should have been charged with. Racketeering? No.
Well, that charge and also too that one with the
Ouch.
tape with Cassie. She play a big part in this because as we know, she they got him on tape allegedly. I'm gonna say of him of domestic violence with her. So and dragging
It's
her down.
not allegedly. How can it be allegedly when you've seen the
Hey,
tape?
I'm just saying, hey, well, correction, Dan. I stand correct. You're right. So he's they got the domestic for that, and doing high profile cases like this. Even with I guess what I'm saying, even with the fact of him, you know, paying her the 300,000 or whatever, that still don't even matter. That ain't got nothing to do with the charges. You know, they don't care nothing about that. So that ain't gonna stop him from going to jail or nothing, you know.
Well, like I said, that's not a charge. That's not, even a talking point because he wasn't charged with that. That would have been something I would have liked for him to be charged with if the statutory, what's it called? Statutory, what's it called? If that was still in play, but of course the time ran out. So when it comes to her, only thing I think they can use her as, I guess, what is the word I'm looking for? Like his behavior, his past behaviors of other charges that maybe will come into as far as abuse.
Because how long?
That this is a pattern for him.
Because they've been together what, like 10 years or something like that, right?
Yeah, I think so. 11 years.
But that's 10 years right there, along with a longer alleged abuse. That's enough right there. So I don't know how, me personally, I don't know how that one particular thing gonna get past the jurors. I don't think that one gonna get tucked under the table. That just can't get tossed under the mat. No, that right there. I mean, I don't think it's right for no man to put their hands on no woman or nothing. But we was already saying before. A lot of people wondering, me like myself, wondering what led up to that incident, of course. But who?
Well, I don't think.
I don't think it matters.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I don't think it really matters. You put your hands on, hey. Right here, I want to play this little part, this little bit of this part right here. See what they saying. Hold up. Give it a second. Let me mute up. Mute up, cause
there every day. That's a wait and see, but I'm sure for opening statements, they definitely will be.
And I got to say, I'm not surprised if he meant it. He's nervous. Look, it's not only decades. He could potentially face life in prison if he's convicted of the most serious charge. And look, his defense team was pushing forward to get this in front of a jury as soon as possible. It seems they feel confident in getting an acquittal here or putting the prosecution's feet to the fire. I want to move on to a little bit about what happened today. You and I have spoken earlier today about who was there for him. Attorneys there for him. Mark Garagos now there is in a more of a consultant role. So you have the attorneys, you have the prosecutors in court. I want to talk about the jury. Okay, so it's my understanding that prospective jurors came in last week. They filled out these questionnaires, and based on their responses, that number is going to be ultimately whittled down to the jurors who were selected in this case. So first, before we even get into the ins and outs of what jurors said in court, can you just give us a brief snapshot of what were some of the questions that these jurors were asked in their questionnaires? Because that became a big focus of what their responses were. So, and I know, and by the way, just to let everybody know, a little while ago, the court actually released preliminary instructions in this case, and some of those questions too, maybe we'll put it up. But Elizabeth, you give us a general brief idea about what were some of the questions they were asked?
Well, some of the questions included just people and places, whether or not there was a whole laundry list of celebrities and whether or not these prospective jurors were familiar with them. They ranged from Kanye West to Michael B. Jordan to Young Miami to Dallas Austin, who's a music producer, to Harve Pierre, who actually was named as one of the defendants in one of Diddy's civil suits. And so prospective jurors were asked who they knew, and most of them were very honest about their answering. They were like, you know what, I don't know them personally, but I do recognize, for example, Michael B. Jordan from movies. Obviously, Sinners is very popular right now, so of course that is is probably going to be the name most were able to answer yes or no to. But I was kind of surprised at how many people didn't know of these like laundry lists of popular celebrities, especially when you have names like Kanye West on there, especially when you have names like, Michael B. Jordan, that type of sort. But there were some prospective jurors who did not, or who were not familiar with these certain people. Now, as far as places goes, I don't know the full extent of what was asked as far as places goes, but there was this one juror who did kind of talk about a hotel, the Essex House Hotel, that was on the list of places that prospective jurors were asked about. And this juror in particular, he just said, he had worked at this particular hotel sometime last year and all of that sort. Now, as far as some of the other questions that were asked, they were asked simple questions as far as, do you know any additional information about this case? Do you have any training in addictive treatment, domestic violence, sexual abuse? Do you have any views about prosecutors or law enforcement? Have you been involved in legal issues such as a lawsuit, such as a criminal case? Have you been a victim of a crime? Do you have feelings about law enforcement, hip hop artists, witnesses testifying under immunity, witnesses also testifying under a pseudonym? And is there any reason that you wouldn't be able to serve as a prospective juror? Now, some of these questions, especially when it comes to like legal issues, criminal issues, surprisingly, a lot of people were very forthcoming, whether it be that they were in a DUI accident, that being that they were the victim of a DUI accident. One woman had talked about how she stole a wand from Harry Potter World.
Yeah.
A lot of these jurors have been very transparent as far as being honest about some of the legal issues that they've dealt with in their past.
Now, let me stop right there. Now, Cookie, you know what? Can you hear me? Yeah, Cookie, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. Now let me stop right there. Now, that's one of the things that's one of the things right there, what they just said, that get me with this whole ordeal, right? P.
Which
Diddy,
part?
P. Diddy knowing so many celebrities, knowing everybody in the world. You know what I'm saying? That's an entertainment. And where I'm going with it is, like, the jurors even thinking they taking in perspective that, you know what I'm saying? Hey, P. Diddy could have paid some of these, you know what I'm saying? Paid some of these people's off allegedly. You know what I mean? I'm just saying that, stating it for the fact of the purposes that, on his defense, for them to be on his side and say, well, hey, yeah, I was there at some of his parties and everything. I've witnessed some things, but I didn't, I'm wondering how they taking that into perspective, and then seeing with the thing about the surviving Diddy and everything. How do they just go about even being a jury yourself, and then even making those decisions when it comes to these high profile cases like that? I kind of, what you think about them?
Well, the whole thing of it is, it's not for the jury to be trying to figure out if Diddy paid someone to speak good about them, because you're supposed to be able to knock out the pros and cons and the truth and the false of someone's testimony. Even if you're being a character witness,
What's good,
if
Uncle
I'm
Jojo?
saying, oh, DB is the most tallest, nicest guy in the world, and everybody see DB's only 5'4", they're gonna understand. Okay, DB he may be nice, but he ain't tall. So now it's gonna make me look like a liar. You know what I mean? So the whole point of being a juror is to take the evidence that you hear or see,
right,
and kind of use common sense of what makes sense and what's plausible or not.
Yeah.
So I don't think that anybody's gonna believe that he paid someone off unless they go in there talking about, oh, he did nothing wrong, like he's like he's the perfect guy, he's like God sent for an angel from God. Like, you gotta really throw some heavy shit on there for someone to think, oh, that person got paid.
Well, yeah, and do do it even matter if he did
I
pay?
might have missed some of it. That what she said that
Well, no, she ain't say all of that word for word per se. I'm just asking that. And again, I do not own the content. Shout out to Law and Crime Network over there. You know what I'm saying? Got to put it out there. Um, and them, cause and also too. I mean, selecting these jury, right? Okay, you got 12 people on the panel. You know, so then I know as what I'm told, and I understand they got like an extra 6 people to swap those people out, in case of whatever kind of emergencies or whatever, you know what I mean? So, and then they have, I don't know how many people totally exactly, but I'm told, I'm seeing that what I'm reading is it's at least 150 jurors that they select in all, totally in all. I don't know, it may be more though, so don't quote me on that. But so they as they go along with the trial, depending on how long it is, then they swap those jurors, some of them out or whatever for whatever emergency reasons. But just being a juror yourself, being on there, I mean, how do you even? I don't know how you go about, and because you got, you got. I'm wondering, like, you got females on there too. So some, people may think that because they looking at it from them being a female, looking at it from the woman's point of view, you know. And what I'm saying is picking sides. You got a male juror, him looking at it from and you know picking the male side or P Diddy side. You know what I mean? I'm wondering how that's gonna go. Like this is crazy case right here, though. It really is.
I my personal belief is I don't believe it has anything to do with being a male or a female. It has to do with your lifestyle, your understanding of the industry, if you can relate to or not. You know, I may not be in the industry, and I may not be wealthy, but I have common sense to understand that there are people out there that like freaky shit. There are
Yeah,
people out there that are swingers. There are people out there that believe in, their sexuality is open like that. So am
exactly.
I to judge because someone likes that type of sexual activities? I
Right.
shouldn't if I be honest with myself.
And
You know
that's
what I'm saying?
right. Yeah, absolutely. I agree, and that's one of the total key point elements that I want to talk about right there, because I'm wondering, like, are the jurors going to be device and in their perspective, meaning are they going to be any young people there, and should the jury be allowed to be, you know, should swingers being, this is the question now. I'm not making this up, okay? This is what they're saying. That, should a person but that's into swinging, should they be allowed to be on the jury? Maybe they understand that lifestyle to kind of help I guess try to kind of help partake in the defense of the whole trial. You know what I mean? And
Well, here's the thing. When you're jury selecting, you have, let's say there's 100 people that you have to pick, that you have to go through to pick the right people. You got the defense and you have your prosecutors. They're going to ask a question on both sides to the potential juror. Are you a swinger?
yeah, because
That
these are
person
some of
may,
the questions. Right, that's what I'm saying. Because these are some of the questions that should be asked. That's going to be asked, I think.
it ain't about shit because it's not just about freak shit. It could be
Well,
something. Can I finish?
no, go ahead.
It could be a simple question as, "Are you a single parent?" Right?
Right.
Because was it his mother a single parent? So it could be anything from your sexual activity to your upbringing as a baby. Did you breastfeed or not? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the
All those.
prosecutor, the prosecutors is going to ask a question, and depending on what that person says, that prosecutor may say, I want that person. But then the judge is going to ask the defense, how do you feel about this person? And if the defense says no, then that person don't get picked. So they both have to agree on it, or the judge may say, well, I don't like the reason why you say they can't be. That's not a relevant reason for you not to pick that person. So then until they get to their last, their 18th pick, 12 for the juror and 6 for the alternate. So it
Right.
doesn't
Because,
matter really with the question.
It's not like, again though. It's like I said. It's not gonna just be. It's not. I mean, because I don't want people to think that it's just only gonna be 12 or just be 18. You see what I'm saying? So it's gonna be
Normally, we don't know how many alternates they may have, but normally they need 12, of course, and then they need alternates. So from my understanding, there are going to be 12 jurors and 6 alternates.
right.
Now, I can't see at one time that all like 10 people at one time is going to say, oh, I got an emergency, or I can't, whatever the case may
No,
be,
but
fall dead.
that might not be the case though. But they might they might have to, let's say they had to take out the whole panel for something that has to do with what they think is something. This is an example. It could be something that they feel like, it's racial bias.
Somebody tampered. Somebody. Okay, let's say all 12 jurors were tampered with.
Right.
They still got 6 people, so most likely they will probably have to take a break and do another jury poll to select 6 more people or 12 more people. But it's not like they need to have 50 people in the cut.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm telling you. That they already have. Once they select the jury, is what I'm telling you. What they do is they already have that many people. They don't have to go really select like what you're thinking. They already like, say if during a trial, right? Let's say, so anytime during a trial, like you said, they got the 12 jurors, and then you got the alternative 6 people or whatever. But totally in all, even though that they selected from 150, 200, 300, it doesn't matter. They at least gonna keep. What I'm saying is they're gonna at least keep on board at least almost 50 or almost 50.
No.
Yeah. This is what I was reading. This is what I'm telling you. They're not that, because what I'm saying is, look, let's say you come to a standstill in the case, right? And let's say they did have to swipe out. Let's say they had to swipe out the 6 jurors, right? And they replaced those 6 jurors, right? And for some odd reason or another, the other following 6 that's left, they, like I said, playing racial bias. They can't come to an agreement for some odd reason, or something else may go on. Some emergencies came up with a couple of them or something, right? You gotta have other selective jurors, is what I'm saying, to fill those slots. So that's why that it's so many jurors totally all together. This is what I'm saying.
We're gonna tell you that.
Okay. Let me find something.
What was that noise?
It probably was me trying to talk.
No, it wasn't you trying to talk.
Mm.
Come on, man. What is this thing?
Go ahead and keep talking.
No.
I'm looking for something.
Okay, no, I hear you. Let me get this set. Yeah, because I just, I can't say, I never did. Now, I never did jury duty, myself personally or whatever, And so damn for sure I ain't never did one for no high high profile case like this or whatever. You can't all these rules and regulations. You can't talk to your family. You can't talk outside of the courts. And I see the reasons why they're saying that. I mean, I understand that. But my whole thing is, like I said, by being when you in a court proceeding like this, and you have a well-known celebrity, and you have to pick. Anytime the jury is already tainted when they did Surviving Diddy, just like the R. Kelly case. You feel me? So how do them trying to find jurors to be device really in their own perspectives, and you got to take these things in consideration. That's what I'm saying, mentally, and wondering if, okay, like I said, had these people been paid off, or whatever the case may be, we ain't gonna worry about it. But I'm just saying, like, just for purposes, like, we don't know what might happen. We really don't.
Well, I can't find the article I had read earlier, but from my understanding, the judge by the end of this week would like to have 45 potential jurors.
Exactly. That's what I was saying.
Out of those out of those 45 people, by the end of Friday into Monday, starting the opening statements, they will select 12 jurors and 6 alternates. So
And
that tells me it's only going to be 18 people. But by the end of Friday, by the end of this week, they picked 19 yesterday. They picked 6 today. So that's 25 already.
right.
So they need 20 more to go through by Friday, and by Monday have their 18 people. So there's not going to be no more than 18 people. The alternates are the alternates. Now, like I said, if something crazy happened where if the jurors is all on a bus and it was a bus wreck and everybody died or got hurt or in the hospital, then I'm pretty sure they will have to shut it down and do jury selection again because of unexpected, unseen circumstances. But normally, you have 12 jurors and 6 alternate.
Okay.
In case something happened where someone is tampering with the jury, or someone gets sick, or there's a death in the family, or somebody dies, or somebody can't deal with the case, it's too triggering, and they have to be excused from that trial.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Right.
I'm not going to get into, we're going to need 50 fucking people as alternates because it's P. Diddy now. Like, no trial runs like that.
It ain't just because it's not no, it's not just because of who, because it's not just really because of who he is or nothing like that. I mean, it's just the alternative necessary needs, I guess, that whatever that they need or whatever. But so we already know that the pretrial court hearings was already to pass. They was not a couple of weeks ago, week ago, something like that, April 25th, in the Southern District of Manhattan, New York.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you already know that. So that's all they're trying to. So now we just work. That's all we worried about now. Just the jury selection and how to pick the jurors. And again, I in a case like this with his alleged acts and everything that's going on, I never stop saying that I believe it's going to be hard to pick that jury, to be kind of difficult to pick that. They gonna come up with it. They gonna come up with them now. I ain't gonna say that they not. That's not what I'm getting at, But it's just you got to find somebody that's really gonna be a positive thinker, a person that's gonna be, unbiased, everything. I mean, you know, it's crazy. This is definitely
Yeah.
It's definitely a crazy
It's
case.
gonna be a wild case for sure.
Okay, so and then so after after they select the jury, as I've been told, then now it's gonna be then they're gonna have the opening arguments, right? Which I'm guessing that's gonna fall on either the following week, somewhere leading into that following week, something like that.
Let's say this again.
The opening arguments. They'll be leading from next week. They'll be leading from next week sometime. They'll be leading into the opening arguments probably like by next week,
The opening statements will start Monday.
Monday.
Supposed to the 12th.
Supposed to, unless there's that's what I'm saying. Unless there's something else they come up with, far as them for something else, other reasons, whether it was picking the jurors or whether it was some other court emergencies or whatever.
Well, no, they're on they're on the calendar for the 12th. They're hoping that the jury is supposed to be picked by Friday.
Friday.
Starting Monday, the opening statements happen. How long that will take? Will it be the whole day? Because will it be 2 days? It all depends on the prosecutor how much they want to say to open up their statement. Once the statements are done, then the trial start. Then the witnessing start. The prosecutor will call their first witness.
Yeah. Well, do you think do you think P Diddy should be doing more time? Do you think he should be saying?
Do I think he should do more time?
Yeah.
Do more time than what?
Doing what more time than whatever than what he's already done right now.
Well, of course. I mean, I don't know because I'm not into him like that. But just like I said with R. Kelly, I wasn't there. I don't know what he's guilty of or not guilty of. So until we start hearing the facts about his case,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
but if we want to believe in what they said, like I said, the thing that I feel as though I don't judge nobody about their sexual activities. If he got some guns that might have participated in a crime of harming someone, or if he was illegally drugging people for sexual things going on,
and the guns and the guns better be legal. They bet. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure they probably is. If there's any.
Well, I'm pretty sure they probably wasn't because why would you have to take off the serial number? Brother JoJo said, DV, what kind of juror would you select if you were on the prosecutor side?
Oh, I didn't see that. Well, see, that's what I'm saying. Because I'm hearing this is what. Okay, so if I was gonna pick a juror, right? That's why I kind of agree with the people who say that they gonna need a juror that's into that kind of like that swinger, like somebody who understands.
Prosecutor.
Huh?
Prosecutor. If you were a prosecutor, what type of juror would you want to see? What type of juror would you select? Like, what type of person are you looking for? Like, you're a don't worry about what nobody else thinks. What would you, as a prosecutor, what's the perfect type of?
Yeah, but you just stopped me. I'm saying if I was a prosecutor, I would be picking. I mean, I would. I'm telling you, these are questions that I think that should be asked. I'm saying, I think that that the questions that they should be really asking, they have to get into his mind too. They have to not, you know what I mean? They got to know. I mean, you got to look at this from both sides, right? Okay, so I'm thinking like, it's got to be somebody who's not gonna get up there and just say, well, yeah, he's innocent. You know what I mean? It's got to be somebody who, not gonna just get up there and say, well, yeah, well, the tape say he put his hands on Cassidy and did this and that on the third. So yeah, I think he should do time, go to jail. I mean, how much time he supposed to serve for even putting his hands on her? See,
Okay.
stuff like that we don't even see stuff like that. We don't even know all of that really. What the court's gonna decide. Uncle Jojo say, or better yet, what kind of questions would you ask? And that's what I'm asking. That's why I'm thinking that if I was a juror, I would be one of the first questions I would ask is, do you believe in um the swinger life? That's one of the first questions. It may sound dumb. It may sound dumb to some, but you got to understand the case that which we dealing here. You see what I'm saying? We talking about a man who's thinking that having already the mindset, right? Thinking that, okay, it was okay for me to be a swinger. It was okay for me to live that kind of life like that. And I didn't know, I wasn't aware of my predicate acts. I wasn't aware that I was doing wrong for what they alleged say I was doing. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't aware. I mean, I didn't think it was wrong for me to give people mixed drinks. I didn't know that they was spiking drinks or
We're
whatever.
not. We're not. We're not. We're not. I don't think he's asking you what kind of defense with is or reasoning that Diddy is going to try to, give himself, or the defense is going to try to say. Okay, me as a prosecutor, if I'm looking for a juror, this is a person that I want to see things my way. I'm going to ask probably a question like, how do you feel about um, group sex? How do you feel about um, a man or a person engaging in sexual activities with different people?
Right. So that's the swinger life. So I said,
It
I
don't
said
have to be swingers. I
they
mean,
do, but
I,
they are.
me,
But
do you know what a swinger is?
do you listen to yourself? Listen, we're talking about the swinger life. Swingers life, that's what they do. We
What
talking
is a
about.
swinger
Hey,
life?
hold up. Listen, hold up. You're going too fast. Listen. Now, a swingers life is, we trading off each other's wives, girlfriends, or whatever, and stuff like that. It's okay for you to go over there and have sex with this woman or this man, this and that and the third. It's okay for
No,
that. No, that is what
no.
life is, Cookie. What do you think a swinger? What do you think a swinger is?
A swinger is okay. Me and you as a couple, right? We swinging with other couples. We're doing this together. You can't go have sex. Okay, Carla and JoJo's a couple. Me and you as a couple. We hook up and we have a swinger night as couples, right? But that don't mean me and JoJo go off on our own and swing without y'all.
No, it doesn't mean that you go off and have sex without.
Okay, so we're not
So
swapping. We're not swapping spouses and going to a different hotel. We're
no, we're not. No,
swapping.
no, 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 no. We're not talking about that. No, no, no. Before you even go there, we're not even talking about swapping and going. You go your way, I go my way. No, swingers, they do it all together. Basically,
That's not what you
they.
said.
That is what I said. Cookie, I said this is what I'm saying. This is exactly what I'm saying. That swingers, they do it all together. It's okay. I just said it's okay for you to go with that person and I go with this person and do this and that and the third. Whether it's hey, whether it could be in the same room, like a three foursome or whatever you want to call it. It could be in separate rooms. That's what swingers life is.
Yes, but what I'm trying to get you to understand is it's not
What you
about we're just having an open relationship and doing what we want to do. Swingers are with couples,
That's
and
what.
everybody's in agreement that we're swapping around, swinging with each other, No outsiders is allowed. So those are swingers. Is that what Diddy and them was doing? No. They were having freak off. So now, okay, you okay with swinging, but are you okay with freaky shit?
Yeah, and
Are you
also,
okay with
but
so
but but right.
the
So
prosecutor is not gonna want anybody that's into nothing like that. So if I say to the prosecutor, yeah, um, freaky stuff, I like a little freakiness,
sound like a little girl. Stop it.
you know, then
Right.
he probably say, nah, we don't want her because she's gonna agree with the defense that it's okay.
But
The
look.
defense is gonna love me,
Okay,
but they
look.
both have to agree
Wait, hold on. You
on that
thinking?
person unless
Wait
the
a minute,
judge says,
though. Wait a minute, though. You thinking like a you thinking like you already like you thinking like a judge right now and all this. Hold up. Wait, we got to think of this situation too.
how
As
am
the
I
woman.
thinking like a judge? The judge don't play no
No,
part in the decision making
listen, listen.
unless one of the parties don't have a good enough reason why they're saying they don't want that person. You know,
Okay.
like if the prosecutor say, "Oh, I don't want this person because she's open to open relationships," the judge may say, "Okay, just because she's open to open relationship, don't mean that she won't see this. You know, he might have went too far in his open relationship. Whereas instead of having only two people, he got 10.
Right. Okay.
So
Cookie. Right there. See, but see, that's the thing, though. Were these people allegedly were they aware of these acts and everything that's going on at his parties? Were they did they sign any agreements or whatever? Did they have any contracts? Were they paid to do this and being solicited for it? Were they did they do this willingly? You know what
what
I'm
that
saying?
got to? We talking about jury. You going into
No,
a whole.
because I'm not listen. I'm just asking the question. Asking you a question. That's
I
a
thought
good
we talking about jurors.
Okay, so look, you want to still talk about jurors?
Well,
Go
that's
ahead.
what we were talking about. You can't be jumping. Like we gotta
Go
finish
ahead, go
one
ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
point.
Go ahead.
I'm done. Go ahead.
Why you interrupt me if you done? Go
Because
ahead.
because we were talking about jurors, and now you're going into the line of questioning. It sound like
Mm,
anyway. So the whole point is when it comes to jury selecting, they both have to agree, unless and if they can't agree or they keep saying no to the no, I don't want this one. No, you can't have that one. No, no, no. The judge at some point, I'm sure, would probably jump in and make a comment. JoJo says, "Would any of you ask about real?" Wait a minute. What? Am I missing something? Real beliefs, real about beliefs. Will any of you ask about REL? Is that what you meant to put, JoJo?
religion belief.
Oh,
Would any,
religion. Okay, I had a heart. I don't know if I
well,
cut off my word.
that's a see that and that's a good question too. That's a good question too. Would would they ask? Would selecting the jury? Them are questions that's going to be asked if they believe in this religion or that religion. You know,
Um,
who would even matter?
Me personally, brother JoJo, I wouldn't because I'm gonna look at it this way. With being a Christian, does that mean you can't be a freak? With being a Christian or any other religion, how does that play in any questioning? I mean, we can look at ethics and morals, but I don't think that would really matter in this type of case. Because if someone says, am I asking me the question of my religion, I probably would not get picked because now I'm putting up this front that I'm holier than thou. Everything's got to be, towards the Bible and the rights and the wrongs of God. So, of course, everything that the defense puts out, that the prosecutor puts out, is going to be against my client. So, as a defense, I would not. As a prosecutor, how's that going to benefit my case? Because I know that the defense is going to say no, they don't want that person. Does that make sense? Did I explain that right? What you think, D-Ray? Do you think it matters to ask that question?
So that's why I was speaking from the way I was speaking about it, because as a prosecutor and defense, the line of questions that they're gonna ask, they have to come to an agreement on. So I think that these are all valid points on both our end. What we're saying, these are all valid points. These are all questions that either should be asked if they're not asked. You know what I'm saying? Or because we got to take in consideration of what we're talking about. If we talking about a man who having parties, who believe in a mindset and a mind frame of thinking that it's okay to have a swinger's life, and it's nothing wrong with it, and that it should be okay, and I shouldn't be going to jail for this stuff. I mean, when you look at the Harvey Weinstein case, when you look at Hugh Hefner and everything, right? Those people, when they did it, then it wasn't no problem. They didn't go to jail. They weren't going to jail for stuff like that, right? They weren't going to, and they knew the kind of stuff that would be going on at these kind of parties, feeding the people.
Okay, maybe I don't know the definition of these charges, but I don't think that. See, that's just the whole thing. The charge of being a freak is not the charge.
No, it's not.
So
no, it's not. It's not. That's not a charge of being charged to be a freak. But that's the point, though. So should I be charged? That's the point. That's exactly the point. So should I be charged for having crazy wild parties and stuff like that?
He's not being charged.
Listen.
The charges is sex trafficking.
Sex trafficking, yes, abusive, sex trafficking, racketeering,
and transportation of prostitution.
Prostitution and soliciting prostitutes and everything.
So my freakiness,
meaning people being paid to have sex, and trafficking, meaning people being transported from one state to the next for the purposes of sex only. Whether you spend a night, go back home the next day, stay for a week. Are you being are you doing it willingly, or are you being withheld against your will? These are the things, the things that's dividing the two, is all I'm saying. Like, for real. I'm not saying you're wrong. But a swinger's life is, hey, they all go into one room and happy-go-lucky, and then, and everybody go for the garden. They go do their thing. And each party is okay with it. Married or not married.
Okay, let's forget about the swinger thing.
Because being a swinger, you don't have to be. I wouldn't assume that to be a swinger. I'm looking at it like this. I'm not assuming that you have to be married in order to be a swinger.
I never said married. I said couples.
You said that. I said to be a swinger. I'm saying that I'm not assuming that you have to be married to be a swinger. You can be a girlfriend, boyfriend, just two people dating each other, or whatever. So where you trying to go with it? What you saying?
I don't know. I got lost in what I was thinking. But I'm just saying that the swinging thing isn't even. I don't know how we start talking about swinging, but we're talking about freaky activities.
Yeah, yeah. That's one. Yeah, we talking about a lot of
So
freak.
if
And what causes them to have all these? They go into these places. They go into these parties. They getting drunk and everything, right? Full of alcohol. Whereas it no air conditioning because you get hot. You getting you know you getting hot and everything, and there's nowhere to come. You're getting hot, and the working the alcohol together with it. You know, come on, it's a lot. He's Uncle Jojo say I'm asking. He asking because it could be uh it could be a strategy
strategy,
for defense or prosecutor, right? Learning the to potential juror.
learning the potential jurors.
Right, that's what I was saying. It's both ways. So what you're saying is, Uncle Jojo, it could be going both ways. That question could still go both ways. Those are the questions that they gotta agree on, though. That's one of the reasons why you said do you believe in what kind of religion you believe, or do you believe in religion at all, or whatever, right? I'm just asking that question. But anyway, so we got also too, Cookie, we got a few people. They got a few people taking the stand that I know of. You know what I'm saying? I don't know everybody taking the stand and where they gonna be at, but they have this one guy, this one actor. Y'all should know him, Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan. Why? Why he taking the stand? I can't say. I don't know if he's being used to be a character witness or whatever. I don't know what, but I can't see me personally. I can't see. I mean, him partying with P Diddy, we never heard of. You feel what I'm saying? We never heard of him. He's a new actor on the scene, so I don't know. You know,
He's not a new actor.
he been out for a little while, yeah, but he ain't got no. He ain't got no. He ain't got no decades in like that. Well, he do. When they think about the movie Get Out, yeah, yeah. I think it's not Get Out. My bad. Not that movie Get Out. It's that other movie. That other movie he played in. Damn. What's that other movie name?
Well, I don't know when he started, but it don't matter when you started. What matters is what's your connection to Diddy. So, rather you're gonna be a character witness or uh, a prosecutor witness for something who we don't know, and we can't say if he's been involved with Diddy in some form.
That's what I'm
Which
saying. You can't.
if he's going to be a witness, he has to be, rather for or against. He has to know him some kind of way to have information,
Right. Because it
good or
could be
bad.
business. It could be business. It could be business. You know, that's one thing it could be. Then again, it could be only hanging out and kicking it. But what is it? What is this connection? Just like that's what I was. I mean, can you imagine? They saying Kanye West might be is supposed to be taking the stand or whatever.
So is him and Kanye friends or been in business together?
Yeah, Kanye and Diddy. Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
not talking. I'm I'm
Who you?
not talking about Diddy. I'm talking about Kanye and Michael J. Michael, whatever his name is.
What do they? What do
Michael.
they? Right, but what do they got to do with it? I mean, the thing is, what connection do we have with Diddy, right? So we know that Kanye got connections with Diddy business wise. We know that for a fact.
Okay, so where did you hear that he's supposed to be testifying? Because when I just pulled up his name, a picture came up and it says Michael P. Jordan's name during jury selection will not testify at Diddy's trial.
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear
Well, and
that.
this was just
I
8 hours ago by
okay.
people.com.
Okay. I'm gonna show you where I'm gonna show you where it's at. I'm gonna show you exactly where I heard it at. I'm gonna show you exactly. Put it like that. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show you exactly where I heard it.
Now, an hour ago, why were celebs like Michael B. Jordan West named in Diddy's trial? Let's see what it says. Go ahead, talk, TV.
Oh, I thought you was talking. You said something.
I'm I'm trying to read through it because I don't want to just be reading something that ain't
Oh,
beneficial to me.
they also saying that Lauren London, she may be like a character witness or something. Her along and of course we know Cassidy gonna be in is gonna be a we know Cassidy gonna be that's the number one witness. And they also saying that this guy named Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi, he was part of Kanye West's label for a little while. So he's a rapper. I forgot what songs he sang, but
Mm. Well, it seems like Kid Cudi and
that's what I was wondering, Uncle JoJo. Was he for the defense or for Kanye West? I would have liked to assume that he's for the defense because like I said he did. We know he did. We know he did business with P Diddy. You know, so I would like to think so. Yeah.
well, that's why I said to you earlier, as far as the witness list for or against, I'm not going to put too much pepper on it because we've been hearing who's going to testify, who's not going to testify, who's going to do this, who's going. You won't know until the trial starts and the people are called.
Yeah, it's a lot of it's a lot of people. I mean, it's quite a bit. It's a lot of people. To be honest with you, I ain't really heard about no Jane Doe's like that, like or nothing like that. I mean, it seemed like they just been name dropping a lot, quite a bit of people, and it's more to come. We know that. Let me see. So let me play this part of this clip. Let me see. Play this
Yeah,
part.
Jojo, that's what I think. If they're going to put a name out there, most of the time they say it's going to be for the prosecutor or the defense.
Yeah, because the people that I'm naming, I'm talking about are all celebrities. So there's nothing to hide, really. No reason, nothing. So
It's very interesting that the jurors were asked, is there anybody on this list that Michael B. Jordan, Kid Rose, we believe Cassie's going to be a part of this case, probably victim one. The allegation is that she had a romantic relationship with him, that Sean Combs may have blown up his car at one point. I didn't know what the connection of Mike Myers, the actor, I didn't know what the connection Michael B. Jordan might be. Kanye West, I mean, as far as I know, Elizabeth, Kanye West had been talking to Sean Combs in jail, maybe called him up. I'm surprised by some of these names. And also, I mean, if you have any more context about what their connection could be to the discussion about the case. But is it my understanding that Kim Porter his ex, Sean Combs' ex, mother of his children, some of his children, and who died several years ago, she may play a role in this case as well?
Yeah, and it's interesting that you bring up now Michael Myers, not 100% sure as far as what his kind of connection is and why his name was even on that list. But as far as Michael B. Jordan, I thought about it for a second, and it kind of makes sense possibly why Michael B. Jordan. And that's that they kind of share a common ex, him, Sean Combs, and Michael B. Jordan. That's Lori Harvey. Now, Lori Harvey dated Sean Combs for a brief period a few years ago. And then, as we know, or maybe as people know from Instagram, Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey went on to have like a years-long relationship after the fact. Now, that's as far as I know is probably what the connection would be as to why Michael B. Jordan specifically was on that list. But there were other famous names on that list as well, too. You know, you had Aubrey O'Day, you had Don Richard, you had, you know, I go back to like faces like, or names like Har Pierre, who used to be president of Bad Boy Records. And as far as Kim Porter specifically, now she was brought up when one of these prospective jurors was kind of talking about her role as a chief marketing officer for a local or for a big book publishing company. And I bring that up specifically because apparently there is going to be a memoir that's going to be coming out later this fall. And that memoir is going to be Al B. Shore's memoir. And he is a very important kind of central figure a little bit in Diddy's life. And I say that because he is the biological father of Quincy Brown, who Diddy adopted. Diddy, along with Kim Porter, because Kim Porter is Quincy Brown's biological mother. And that's why I say there's such a tangle web when it comes to the Combs / Albie Shore family / you know, Justin Combs's family as well, too. And so that was kind of the context as far as why Kim Porter and even Albie Shore were brought up, in that a prospective juror did work at a local or at a publishing company. I think it was Simon and Schuster. And she was talking about how she had viewed a press release about this memoir that's, again,
Okay, I don't know nothing about that. I don't know nothing about them people's names right there. Welcome. What is this? Allah, something Allah, nephew, Allah says, I wish the would show it on Diddy love the spotlight shoot show.
I wish they would show it on Diddy love the spotlight shot shoot show on it. I don't know.
I'm not really getting what you saying. I'm not really getting what you saying. What is it? Nelfu Allah. I'm not really getting what you're saying, but they're not going to be this trial would not be televised or nothing like that. So we only can go off what, you know, the people that's attending the trial and what they say and come back and report to us. You know, that's including news reporters or whatever, and whoever's down there to interview and stuff. You know, and whatever the court says. You know that the
Well, they're not going to televise it because it's going to be a lot of sex
lawyer.
stuff. Yeah, just like, you know, any federal sex crime, because, you know, they're going to be showing probably videos, sex videos, and, you know, you can't be just putting that stuff on,
Well,
you know,
that, well,
news.
that part, that part of it, they already announced that part of it about the sex tapes and stuff. I think that part is not even supposed to be in. They're not even supposed to be using those no tapes.
What are you talking about? Why wouldn't that? Part of this?
Hey, look.
What?
Hey, hold on. Hold on. I don't know. Hey, don't ask me. Hey, I don't know, but I don't think they using those tapes. Not all those sex. No bunch of different
Ain't
sex.
nobody saying they're going to use all of them because they claim to have thousands of them,
Yeah,
but they are going to play some of those tapes because supposedly, you know, they're going to show where some of those entertainers, all these famous people are involved, where they got them on tape.
and that's the
So there's
reason
going to
why.
be some tape shown. That's why it's not being televised because it's a sexual crime case.
That's why I don't think that they gonna show, that they even showing those tapes in court because it's certain. I mean, we got to think about the kind of celebrity people that might be named down there.
Do you think they care? If that was the case, they wouldn't be charging them.
That
They
is
said, "Oh, we're not going to charge them for anything because we got too many celebrities up in here."
Cookie of Cassie.
They're not.
The other tapes, he's getting charged for that tape of Cassie.
No, he's not.
Okay.
Cassie has nothing to do with none of his charges. Cassie,
what do you mean Cassie don't have nothing to do with the charges?
That tape of him beating on her in the hotel, he was not charged for that. It had reached its limitation, the statute of limitation. Cassie is probably, what's it called?
If they want to use that tape in that court,
they're gonna use it. I didn't say they was not gonna use it, but they're not using it for her, for any charges on her. That's more like, I forget the word you use, like his behavior, how we're showing you what type of man he is. What's it called? Jojo, what's the word I'm looking for? Predicate. Huh?
Who is on the tape?
Who's on with tape? Cassie.
From the hotel, exactly.
Oh, GB. I'm okay.
So you don't think they?
I'm telling you, they've been said none of his charges was based. Now,
did you hear this, Uncle Jojo? Did you hear this say that?
Please, somebody, because I don't like to sound like I'm crazy.
You ain't got slow down. Ain't anybody saying you crazy?
No, but I'm just saying. I'm trying. Don't you remember they said they could not bring any charges against him with this tape because it had passed the time of statute of limitation, right? She did a settlement with him. She got the money, but because that tape came out, and whatever else was going on, and whatever reason that they were going to come after him, of course they're going to use that tape to make him look like the monster that they're portraying him to be.
So why are you saying that they can't use the tape because of statutes of limitations? Then, if they can use the tape,
the tape ain't got nothing to do with the charges. But listen to what I'm saying, DB. Stop. Oh my God! The charges. Listen to what I'm saying.
Hold up. Everybody that's coming, people that's in the bushes or you on your way in, please make sure you like, share, subscribe. Hit that like button, y'all. Go ahead.
The charges that he has, has nothing to do with charging him for something for Cassie. I don't know the legal words to use. That's why I don't like to talk about legal stuff. But they're going to use that tape to portray him as the monster that he is, that he abuses women, that he controls these people. He's a monster. But none of these charges has nothing to do with that tape, per se, or tape Cassie.
So you saying they're using that tape to persuade the jury? What's good with it, purple?
Yeah, of course. The same way they use.
So if they're using it, this is what I'm trying to get you to understand. With them using the tape and showing it to the jury, right? The jury is the ones that is deciding on this man, whether he stay in or get out. That right there is what the jury is the ones that decide. It's up to the jury.
Right, but that's not going to be the only thing that they're going to see. They're going to have the testimony.
Yes, they got the testimonies and everything, but that tape, that tape or any other tape that they want to show or whatever is being used to persuade the jury, and that's exactly what it's gonna do. They already, with that being said, with the tape, the surviving R. Kelly thing. I mean, oh my God, surviving P Diddy thing, documentary, and all that. The jury is already tainted. The jury is already tainted. There's no way to get up under that right there.
Well, we know that. We know that. But what I'm trying to, because you said you that's what I'm saying. You got to stick to one thing and stop jumping all over the place, because then you miss the point that with people miss the
end game.
people miss.
I'm reading. Go ahead. The end game. What's good with the end game? FL culture puppets from beginning, and it's all staged up to this moment, and so it will continue, and everyone has fallen for it. So when you say that, what do you mean what do you mean when you say that end game? In game NFL, FL. What do you mean when you're saying that exactly? Can you be a little bit more specific? Go ahead, Cookie. I'm not. My bad.
No, it's okay. I'm trying to figure out why my phone wasn't updating the chat, because I was like, I didn't even know that people came in.
He said, oh, this person is from Germany. Greetings from Germany, made by his mom and other ones. Made by his mom and other ones. So you're saying that they all puppets. This thing been staged from the beginning. And everybody falling for it. I really don't know what to say to that. But I'm trying to. No father. Who you said? Who P Diddy? No father. I'm not sure. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I don't know if his father's still living or whatever.
His father's dead.
His father's dead. Okay. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't know that, but I know his father was connected. If I'm not mistaken, his old man was connected.
Connected to what?
Some type of doing something that got to do with some type of mob or something like that. His father was connected with the
No,
mob.
from my understanding, his dad was like a little drug dealer or something, and they
Ain't no
think or
little
believe
drug.
he might have been ratting,
No, his daddy was big
and they
time.
killed him.
Yeah, his daddy was big time. It had something to do with mob something. I don't know
I
the
don't know
full.
about I don't know about how big time, but I
Yeah.
don't know. That's not even.
Right.
That's irrelevant.
Yeah. No, it's not irrelevant. Stop saying stuff irrelevant, Cookie. Stop. Don't do that. It's not irrelevant. The man, hey, you only good. But you know how they say birds of a feather flock together. You only what your father is.
Okay, but he's not on no drug charges.
He
He's not.
can.
I'm talking about Diddy. So it's not birds of a feather.
Well, so you say he not on no drug. Okay, Cookie. So, do you think he should be charged for the drugs? Do you think? Okay, let me ask you this: if you throwing a party, you throwing the parties at you throwing parties at your crib, right? So you throwing parties. You see my face? You throwing parties at your house, right? And you got weed there. You got a little coke for people to sniff. You got all type of meth or whatever and everything. Do you think that he should be charged for that stuff? Yes or no? P Diddy, because allegedly he is responsible for all of those drugs or things being in his spot, wherever they throwing these parties at, whether it was his home, whatever, you know. Do you think he should be responsible for that, and he should do jail time for that, for
So is he being charged for being a drug dealer, a distributioner? Uh, what else would he be called? Retailer. I mean, it's no different than if you're at a party and you got a bag of weed and you pull it out and smoke it with your homies.
So
Okay, does that mean you're a drug dealer? No, but let's say you pulled out some weed and laced it with something,
no,
and
but yeah,
somebody overdosed
but see,
or
it's a big difference when you talk about
jumped in a car and got in an accident. Are you responsible? Yes.
no, but Cookie, it's a big difference when you're talking about you being at a party, right? Let's say perhaps you being at a party and you got 1 or 2 bags of weed, right? And you give it, and then you sharing your weed with those 1 or 2, however many people, right? To smoke the blunt with you or whatever. But when you go buy in big quantities, a pound, you distribute it to everybody in the party, and you say, well, hey, this is for everybody. Everybody roll the fuck up. You distribute
If I'm a millionaire, that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Exactly. So so that's why I'm asking you.
But I'm not selling it to you, so it's not like I'm a drug dealer.
So that's why listen, slow down. So that's why I'm asking you. So do you think there should be drug charges? Because these are the type. Because if you're a millionaire, like you said, hell, what the fuck is nothing? You're gonna distribute that shit out, and motherfuckers want to get high and kick it. You know, you're gonna do what you do.
Evie, I do not believe.
Don't start with my name. I'm only 5'4". Don't start with my name. Don't do that.
I do not believe that a person is having a party, because that would be just like alcohol. So it's not rather if it's an illegal drug or not. I have a party, whatever I'm serving at my party, whether it's alcohol or drugs, everybody is hopefully is adults and consenting to what they choose to do.
Okay.
But if they leave my house and they get into an accident because of the drugs or the alcohol that I gave them, and I let them leave knowing they were impaired, yes, I should be blamed for that accident. I should be held accountable for that because they were under my roof, just like if you step off my porch and fall down my steps because I didn't shovel the snow, I am responsible because I did not shovel the snow. So I let you leave my house knowing there's ice on the steps. I let you leave my house knowing you were intoxicated with drugs or alcohol. Yes, I should be accountable and be charged with endangerment, um, uh, involuntary something. But I should not be charged for no drug dealer because I'm a millionaire and I can afford to buy, uh, 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 all these drugs to entertain my party. But if everybody left my house and they were, okay, you good, okay, you good, I should know that you good because I should know how much you would take. But if I think that my shit was so potent, and I'll let you go out there and get behind the wheel of a car, yes, I'm responsible if something happens. Because I supplied you with that.
So therefore, there's a such thing, Cookie, in the law. It's a such thing as called.
Thank you, the end game, Florida. I think that's who I'm just gonna call you end game.
Okay, so what? So there's a such thing. There's a such thing though called willfulness blindness. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, you willing to do something. You willing to do something, saying that you was a part of something, but I'm not aware mentally, like I was saying earlier. I'm not aware mentally of me doing anything wrong. So even though I'm passing out drugs, passing out weed, trying to entertain my convenient constituents and stuff, and or whatever, I'm not aware of this is really wrong because this is what they like. And
okay, but wait, stop right there. Let me just say this. I know that it's wrong if it's a drug because it's probably illegal, depending on what state you're in, which we know everywhere, certain drugs, no matter what it is illegal. The only thing that may be legal in some, wait, Only thing that may be legal in some states is marijuana. Cocaine ain't legal nowhere that I know of.
Yeah, but all
Meth
drugs are
ain't legal nowhere that I know of.
yeah, but all
Any
drugs
other
are
kind of
illegal.
drug that people out here using isn't legal anywhere that I
Yeah,
know of,
even
but
weed,
marijuana is.
right? But even weed can be illegal, and even weed can be illegal in the state if it's in quantity. You know what I'm saying?
I, okay, but what I'm talking about is
So anytime you giving out,
as a user, you can have so much without being charged in a legal
no, we
state.
know that. We know, we know that.
So
We
we're not
know
talking about how much we got.
no,
We're
we are
saying
talking about that. Yes, we are. We are.
you just said
So,
willing. What do you call it?
willful.
Knowingly willing or
Listen, I said the name of it is willfulness blindness. It's willfulness blindness. You know what I'm
so.
saying?
What am I blind about? It's an illegal drug. I
Listen,
know it's illegal, so I knew that from the jump. I didn't. I did not know that that was not legal.
slow down, slow down. It's no. If it's a drug, you know it's illegal. If it's a drug, okay. And what I'm saying is, if I'm the party holder, I'm the person that's having the party. I'm the host, right? And I'm dishing out drugs to people. You, I know the repercussions behind these drugs, or am I aware of am I aware of the repercussions of these drugs? Maybe I'm not aware of the repercussions of these drugs because maybe I never done it. But you're still passing those drugs out. And is it legal to do that? See, so willfulness blindness, meaning, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's one of them things like, you saying that you shot somebody by it's like self-defense or whatever kind of thing. You know what I mean? Because even if you shoot somebody in self-defense, right, you got to prove it was self-defense. Did you have was it a reason why did you really have a reason to defend yourself? All these things is counting when you in court. All this stuff. So it's it's up in the air. I mean, because ain't no court gonna look at this. Ain't no court gonna look at this case, and you sitting up there, and you got somebody testifying saying, yeah, you got somebody testifying saying, yeah, he was giving. I seen. I mean, yeah, he's giving. He always there giving out drugs. He's giving out. He probably give out people's hundreds of kilos or whatever. Well, is anybody there to corroborate your story? Don't nobody else testify and say that yeah he was yeah he was there. He was giving out such and such amount of
I have
kilos.
no idea what you're talking about now. You done completely
Yeah, I know
lost
you don't
me.
know because you're not you. I know you. I know you don't know. So you don't understand that. What I'm saying is that it's a it's a difference. It's a difference because
What I'm saying
you
is this,
distributing
DB. Let me
you
just get out what I'm trying
distributing
to say.
you distributing drugs.
I can know that that drug is illegal.
Okay.
Now, what I don't know is how that drug will affect everybody.
No,
Because
you
I can
now
have
right
somebody.
there.
Can
You
I
don't
finish?
no. Listen. Hold up. Hold up. You don't know because why? You don't because you didn't never do the drug. You don't know it. But you heard about it or something one way or another. And even if you hadn't, you know it's a drug. You know it's not marijuana or nothing. So
I
that's
wish
why
you would stick to one side of what you're saying.
I stuck to
First of
one
all,
side. Yeah.
I don't think
Y'all
nobody's
heard
going
me,
to
right?
bring a
And y'all
drug
heard
to
what I
their
said.
party and
What's
not
your
know
name,
what it
Bob?
is or don't do indulge in it. Because if I don't indulge in it, why
You
would
don't.
I buy it for other people? That's like me giving a crackhead some money to go buy crack and I don't even smoke crack. That don't even make sense. So if I'm
No,
gonna have a party,
that's not.
okay, yeah, I got people that do that stuff, but I don't indulge in it. So why would I shouldn't even know where to go get it at. I shouldn't even know what to ask for
Not true.
because I don't indulge in it.
That doesn't.
So
No.
if I indulge in it, I'm gonna buy it, and whoever comes to my party, if they want it, it's gonna be there for them. But if I don't do heroin, just like I'm pretty sure a lot of people at his party shoot up.
I don't know.
Well, with their heroin there,
so like you said,
I
you
hope
don't
he
know
didn't do that too.
So
But if
listen,
he did, maybe it was.
so right, like you said, you don't know where to go get it. So that's a matter of hitting either here or there. The point is, it's there at the party, and who's gonna be liable and responsible for it if the police come in and raid this place right now? Everybody will go to jail. Don't get me wrong. Everybody gonna go to jail, but because it's his crib, who's gonna be responsible and take the downfall and be the downfall of Diddy? Exactly. He gonna be the downfall. He's gonna go to jail for it. So
We understand that. Nobody ever disagreed with that. I don't even know how we got to this, but I'm just saying. I don't even know how we got to this. So I don't know.
You don't know how we got to this. Okay. So okay, again. So yeah, it's cool. But yeah,
I'm just saying that whatever witnesses that may take the stand, whoever the jurors may be, we are not going to get an understanding of nothing until the trial starts. Because all we know is what we've been seeing for the past, 8 months of what evidence they have, what people are saying or not saying.
a lot of people been name dropped. A lot of name dropped because they've been name dropping people left and right about people that attend his parties. Not that it's not that they're saying that they did anything wrong or nothing, but people that were in attendance. A lot of people they've been talking about has been in attendance. So if you were there, meaning you had to see something and witness something. See that they gon' I don't know, man. I believe if they make all these people, I mean, you would have to. It's so many different celebrities, so many different people that you would have to get to testify in order for this case to stick. Is what I'm telling you. I really believe.
How do you figure that? It has nothing to do with.
Because listen,
The celebrities has nothing to do with it. It's about the evidence that they have for whoever the.
Did you hear what I said?
Accused, the allegation that.
I'm telling you, I'm telling you, you just cut me off. I'm saying that there is so many people and celebrities that has to do with this case that's been to Diddy parties that can be pulled in, as witnesses to say what happened, not happened, what they witnessed, or whatever. And you keep saying what they got to do with the case, It's got a lot to do with the case, really. But will those people be brought in and will they testify?
So you're saying, so what you're saying is because they got all these celebrities that they saying was at these parties, if none of them come and testify and say that this stuff is true, then he's gonna be set free.
No, I'm not saying that because it's not about whether they want to come or not come. If they come to testify, that's because they ass being summoned. That's because they being summoned, so they made to come and they're being made to testify. I'm saying. So okay, so if they be made to come and testify, then you got to take in consideration what they gonna say and what they and what is they initial what did they have to do with this situation? What did they have to do with these different parties and these different things? What do they have to do with these? In fact, what do they have to do with all these different charges of racketeering,
Okay, back up. You just said
of transporting? Did they engage in it? You have to ask yourself and wonder.
what that got to do with if he's
You have
found
to ask
guilty or not.
yourself. Listen, let me get the words in my mouth. You have to ask yourself that do these celebrities, these people have anything to do with this? You have to ask yourself, do they have
Even if
anything?
they did, what did that got to do with who they are, who they have on in the defense chair?
I don't get what you just said.
You're saying you have to hear what the celebrities say, what they witnessed, why was they there, whatever the case may be. If that's the case, what does that have to do with if the jury will convict or not?
I don't know
P.
what it.
Diddy.
I don't know what it has to do with the conviction. It might have something. It might have something to do with time. It might not have to do with nothing at all. You know, I don't know. These what I'm doing is speculation from afar. That's all I'm doing. I don't know. You
That's
see
all
what
anybody can do. But I'm trying to
we
stick
know
to one
that
thing.
but we know that all. I mean, everything that the judges and the prosecutors and the defense everything that they can do is they can do is speculate. That's all they can do because you know why? That they wasn't there. Not those. They wasn't there. And during the time
BB,
they
BB.
they wasn't there during the time of these parties or
That's
anything.
not all they can do. There's evidence. There's going to be evidence. That's the whole purpose of
That's
a
to be
trial.
that's to be brought up. Listen, Cookie, that's to be brought up in trial and that's to be challenged. That's to be brought up by the prosecution and being challenged by the defense. That's to be brought up. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing of the trial. That's why they have a trial. It's to be
Mm.
brought up and be mentioned. Ain't no telling. There's no telling what
Okay,
might
let
be
me ask
brought
you
up.
this. Let me ask you this. What do you think he's innocent or guilty?
Shit. For one, I don't.
Honestly,
Yeah.
honestly, this,
For one, for one, for one, I don't give a damn if he's guilty because I wouldn't mind him being guilty because R. Kelly ain't free. So
no, you can't combine the two. There's two different things. Don't because it's no matter how much people try to put these two together,
well, you can't. You know
totally
what?
different
I'm gonna tell you
cases.
like this. I'm gonna
So
tell you.
don't even do that.
Look, but no, I'm gonna tell you like this. You can't compare those two cases or nothing totally. I know a lot of people would like to compare the R. Kelly and the Diddy thing totally, but we talking those are we gotta understand people. We talking about two different things. We talking about adults and minors. Those are two different things right there. Okay, but a lot in the way that the injustice is being done about the case, you know, I'm just hoping. All I can say is all I can say is I'm gonna hope that they don't railroad Diddy the exact way that they did R. Kelly, because that can so perhaps be done. You understand? Because you
Mm.
know, because of what he say, what evidence he got to, you know, he could be railroaded. Ain't no, because the system is fucked up. The system is fucked up.
Mm.
They design the system. We don't design it.
We know not what we do and say when we.
Uh, Uncle Jojo, where you at, Uncle? I'm gonna drop this link. Uh,
A lot of times, this is what I don't understand.
mm-hmm.
Like I said, you cannot. I'm an Art Kelly fan. I'm not going to put Art Kelly and Diddy in the same breath. That's why the man goes through what he goes through. So, regardless of how unjust it was for him, I have to remove my feelings. And if I'm going to look at this case, to figure out guilty or innocent, then I have to do so. Because if I say, well, I should think he should go to jail because they put R. Kelly in jail, then you're kind of saying, then, okay, then R. Kelly's guilty.
And that's the questions that we got to ask, though. Because, I mean...
Can I finish? Because whatever you interrupt me, you put your foot in your mouth.
Cookie...
So let me just finish my thought. Every time, let me just finish my thought so I don't lose track of what I'm trying to say. We don't know, like I said, for Kels. I wasn't there. But I can base my opinion on the evidence that makes sense to me the same way I'm going to do for Diddy. I'm not going to judge this man for his freak-offs. That's his personal business. What I think he's guilty of, he wasn't charged with. So when I look at sex trafficking, well, he is who he is. He travels a lot. So, yeah, he's going to have girlfriends, women all over the world traveling, having sex. The prostitution thing, I have to look at it once again as a prostitute. Did I accept his offer? Did I travel to have sex? Okay. Now, did he put me on a plane and drug me up and then throw me at this hotel and there's a big old freak off and everybody's fucking me in my ass? Oh, no, I didn't agree to that.
Cookie, you so nasty.
No, I'm speaking the truth. So we got to be accountable for our shit. So if I knew what I was getting into, who I'm dealing with, what I signed up for, I can't cry about it later because something didn't go my way. Or now he's falling down and I want to jump on a bandwagon and say, oh, poor me. If I knew, oh, Cookie, I got $50,000 for you. I need you to come to this party in California. Meet me at this hotel, room so and so. And you know what to do. And I get on that plane and collect my $50,000. And I do what I do. And then some shit come down about Diddy doing this shit with other people that might be legit. And he was wrong. But he wasn't wrong by me because I got paid. I agreed to do what I did and jump on that plane and collect my money and fuck who I fucked and had a good time and said, thank you. So I'm not going to come now and say, oh, he did this. Oh my God, I can't believe it. I was all drugged up. No, I took those drugs willingly.
Everybody coming in.
Maybe I took them because I couldn't really consciously do all those 10 men and 5 girls. So I needed something to help me through. But I knew I was taking it for that reason because I wanted to collect that $50,000. Right. So I can't cry about it later. That's the problem I have with it. But if you were drugged up without you knowing and put in a situation to have sex with 10 men and 5 women while he sat back and masturbate, yeah, I got a problem with that. Because now it's on tape and like, what? I don't remember doing that. I don't remember agreeing to that. How the hell did I get to California? Because I was all the way down in North Carolina.
You so silly.
So then that, yeah, I have every reason to be mad about. So my whole thing is just always about
the idea of
being accountable for the choices that you make in life, rather was good or bad for whatever reason at that time, and moving on with your life. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. But don't do something and then say, oh, poor me, when you knew what the fuck it was like, oh, good me. I'm getting paid. I'm having a good time. I'm partying with Diddy. Right. No. And I'm just being real with it. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter what happened or how it happened. At that time, I knew what the hell I was doing. I wanted to do it for whatever reason, for the money, for the, being around the people that was there, or just to have something to fucking do, to enjoy myself. I can't cry about it later.
And we can't, and this ain't like the R. Kelly case, so we can't say when the money runs out.
I keep saying why you keep doing that.
Because I keep saying it. That's why. Don't ask me why I keep doing that now. Don't ask me why I keep doing that. So let me play this part. I got one more after this, Cookie. Let me see what she's saying right here.
As well appear inside that courtroom as well too.
So let's go back to the idea of the jurors having a legal history.
Oh damn!
Somebody say your live is boring. You better liven it up. Hit on some points.
Cookie, Cookie, Cookie. Be
I
quiet.
want to know who this Corey person is. Who are you, Corey? You probably left by now since we so boring.
You always see. That's what I'm talking about right there. You better. That's what I'm talking about right there.
But I don't understand the reason why somebody would come in and say that. If
That's
we're
what I'm
boring,
talking
just
about.
leave the fuck out.
Tell me what you learned, and please just
Put
to
yourself
read
on
one
mute.
more time for our audience, because it struck me.
Put
You
yourself
had a
on mute.
potential juror who stole a wand.
She was probably one of my favorite prospective jurors, I'm not going to lie, that I saw inside that courtroom. And she was interesting. She was a 30-year-old woman. She had talked about how she could be fair and impartial when it comes to this case. She said as far as the list of people and places, she only knew about two celebrities on that list. But she was interesting because she said she had a concert or a conference with unrefundable tickets, but then said she could make it work if she were to be selected as part of this juror. But again, she said she could be fair and impartial. She understands that she can't talk about this case with her sister-in-law, who, by the way, she had said in open court that her sister-in-law is a therapist. She had previous training as a teacher to deal with sexual harassment, something that we saw a lot from these jurors talking about, whether or not their job training actually required them to deal with some levels of sexual harassment, that being a training, that being a course, some type of thing. And then she said she had a friend who was a police officer, but as far as her stealing the wand from Harry Potter World, that was obviously brought up in open court, and she was very honest about it. Honestly, when when the judge asked her, what did you steal? And she said a wand, there was an audible chuckle inside that courtroom. But pretty much she wasn't like convicted of a crime or anything like that. She had to pay a fine. She was prohibited actually from going to Harry Potter World and Universal Studios in Florida for about a year. So by this time, it looks like she can actually go back there again. But she made another interesting comment whenever she was being questioned by the judge, and that she had said that and again, I have to kind of commend some of these jurors for being just very honest inside that courtroom today. But, when asked about social media posts and if she made posts about the case, she didn't say she made a post about the case in particular, but instead she said she liked to post about the case. Now, she said it was kind of some comedian making a joke about the baby oil, and she was adamant inside that courtroom today that she found it pretty funny, which is, I couldn't see Diddy's face whenever the baby oil or anything like that was mentioned, but he sat there kind of, taking it all in. From what I could see from him, he kind of had no reaction from what I saw, but she was pretty adamant that the post that she saw had to do with baby oil and had to do with Diddy, and she just liked it because, as she says, it was funny. And the judge said that she will proceed as a potential juror in this case.
Yeah, and I saw that there was another juror. By the way, maybe she stole the Elder Wand because it might be excusable, right? It's the most powerful wand in the Harry Potter world. Everybody should know that. But anyway, side note. But I know there was another juror that sued the Port Authority for an injury. They hurt their back on an escalator. They ended up settling that. There's also a question about insurance fraud. You had another juror who says that their uncle was charged with raping someone else, another family member. So it's interesting to hear about their past legal connections. But talk to me now about what did the jurors say about their exposure to the case? So other than
You see, that's why I say you see the questions, the line of questions that they talking about, Cookie. That's why I was saying about those line of questions, what they should be. Excuse me. Those line of questions, what they, overall observation of what you think of what they should ask the jurors, or what you think, what what you think that could probably help Diddy's defense. You know what I'm saying? if they would ask this type of question. You know what I mean? It's not nothing about. It's not about. It's no answer right or wrong, really, to be honest. So everything's
Of course
okay.
not, because you're
I
just
believe.
trying to get to know the people, see what type of person they are.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, yeah. I
Mhm.
mean, my thing is, I think I would want someone that's probably between the age of 30 and 55 to 60. Um, Man or woman really doesn't matter. Um, I probably would
You know
like
what?
most men if I was the defense. I'm pretty sure prosecutors would want most women because,
You know
like I
what I'm
said,
gonna say? Go ahead.
go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish it. Go ahead. Go ahead. Land your
I done
plane.
forgot
Finish it.
where I forgot what I was saying. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just gonna say that I might not say the age of 30. Here's the reason why though. Because most people really, right, that believes in that swinger life, that type of that that type of environment and everything, right? Okay. For one, that didn't start with our people. Okay. That all that shit started from way back in the days, slavery days, all type of mess. Okay. But that's a topic for a different day or whatever. But what I'm saying is, I would say I would put the age limit at starting at 40. Why I say that? Because I would think that's someone when it comes to the swing of life, it would be someone that's a little bit more older, a little bit more advanced, to the point where where you, let's say if you were a married couple, where you get bored and get tired with your relationship, you know what I mean, and y'all want to try something different or whatever. Now, me personally, I'm not into that kind of shit. I'm not finna give my woman away and then say it's okay for her to, go lay up and have sex with another man or nothing. No, I don't think that personally. But, you know, for it to be, you know, if I was down with that type of life or whatever, it probably would happen later on in my life though. You know what I mean? It just, even me at 30, like I'm still young. I'm probably laying around with, you know, I'm probably laying around with 5 or 10 different females or whatever, unless I'm married or something. So
Well, once again, we're not talking about swingers. We're talking
see,
about freaks.
swingers, freaks, Cookie, put them on the same. See, I know you
No,
don't.
you can't.
I know
No,
you
you
don't want
can't.
to. No, I know you don't want to put them on the same. I can't make you, but I know you don't want to put them on the same level, right? But the type of people that were at these parties were built up of all of such. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I keep on naming swingers, because we talking about freaks, freaky people who don't mind living that kind of lifestyle. We talking about, you got women who probably that was paid escorts or whatever, coming to the party, whatever. Hey, she go lay up and do whatever in this room for this person, and hey, some of them probably lay up in this room and go do this and that for that person. You
Okay,
know,
so listen. Okay, so if if that's how you're seeing it, most likely when you're talking about people laying up, that's not 40 and 50-year-old people. Those are younger people. Like I said, 30, maybe younger.
no, no,
Because
no,
who's
no,
more
30,
sexual?
30 still young. No, 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 no. 30 still young. I'm sure.
BB,
Saying,
BB,
well,
BB, BB.
hold up,
I was
stop doing that.
talking.
Listen,
Because you
stop
keep
doing that.
stopping me from talking.
30, stop doing. I'm not stopping you from talking. 30 people at 30, at the age of 30, it's not old though.
I just, okay,
Go
BB.
ahead, Chris. I'm not gonna
Why is
please.
there echo? I
Probably because
just
you
said
talking
to
too
you,
much.
for the people that I would like to pick for my jury would be in the age of 30 to 50. You went on this whole rampage about older people being more of swingers, which I keep telling you, we're not talking about swingers. Stop saying swingers. Swingers are totally different than freaks, okay? Or
No, they're
freaky.
not. Hey, if anybody in the chat, would y'all say that freaks? Anybody that's here, anybody, whether you in the bushes or in the chat or whatever, would you say that swinger people are freaks, or would you say if you think that swinger people are freaks, please light a match in the chat. Please light the fire. Please. If you think that swingers are freaks. If you don't think that swingers are freaks, throw up the cross. Go ahead.
I'm not saying that swingers can't be freaks. I mean, when I say freaks, I mean freaky activities, sexual activities. What I'm saying is there's a different definition between the two. Swingers, like I said, are usually couples. Okay? They get together, no matter how many couples it is. Let's say it's 5 couples, which means that's 10 people, and they all freaking each other.
That's speculation, too, right? But it's all.
It's not, because I know swingers. Okay, I know
so
swingers.
You should know that they freaks.
That's why. Okay, so that's why you should listen to what I'm saying.
Right, but I don't know nobody on the side that's gonna say. I don't know nobody that's Christian on the side or Catholic or anybody.
What are we talking about Christians and Catholics for?
I just said I don't understand.
You keep jumping all over the place.
I don't know if nobody that's Christian or nobody that's Catholic or whatever, any religion of sorts, whatever, that's gonna sit up there and say that that having sex with multiple peoples is not being freaky. No, I can't just.
Oh my God, I don't even know where the fuck we're at, because what do Catholic? We're not even talking about religion. Stop jumping all over the place. I said the difference between being a freak in the bed, being a freak, whatever your freakiest shit is not the same as a swinger.
Right, go ahead. It's your.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
The difference between freaky sex and swinging. Yes, you can be a swinger and like freaky sex.
This is the definition of a swinger, not mine.
You can be a freak. When I say freak, y'all, I'm not saying you're a freak because you're a freak or because you like kinky sex. I'm saying you are willing, you like to get your freak on. Whichever kind of freakiness you like, that's you're entitled to it. Because you got freaky people that like to have freaky sex with just their spouse. Ain't nothing wrong with getting your freak on. That's your business. So that's what this man does. He likes freaky fucking sex. Allegedly. So that's what he's into. I don't know why do you keep talking about swingers. We're not talking about swingers. Unless you want to say, allegedly, him and his woman, Jay-Z and his wife, Will and his wife, Steve Harvey and his wife, they all got together and was partying, doing whatever they wanted to do, and having sex with each other. Those are swingers. Couples. I don't know how many times I got to say that. So we're not talking about no couple sex. No matter how many there is. We're talking about freak-offs. People getting their freak on with the same sex, different sex, dogs, whatever the fuck turns them on. So that's what I'm talking about. Stop saying swingers. We're not talking about swingers. We're talking about freak off, being freaky, sucking toes, eating booty, whatever the fuck you like to do. Spinning from the chandelier, whatever it is, you get your freak on. I think we all got freak in us.
Cookies, swingers Swingers do all of that.
Oh God.
You can't say that. You can't. How do you know what is a swinger's preference? You ever been a swinger?
I told you I know swingers.
Okay,
And
you
that's all
know.
I'm gonna say about that.
Okay, so just because now, just because you know a swinger or no other swinger, if you never witnessed that life, you never do it yourself personally, because your preference of being a swinger might be different from the next
There's
person.
only one. Let me look up
Ain't
the
no,
damn definition of
I'm
swingers.
not gonna say.
Damn.
I'm not gonna say that it's more than one definition of being a swinger. I'm sure it's plenty of definitions of being a swinger. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I'm just saying. It's speculation. It's all speculation.
I'm gonna put it this way, DV. I'm sorry to say, but you just seem like you ain't really get around too often or too much with anything. So, like you said, you ain't. You see yourself becoming a swinger at the age of 50. So, okay,
I said
swinger is
40.
a person who.
I said something about 40. I said that, you know, I look at swingers probably being the age of like maybe 40, maybe, and 50. I said because of 40, I said 40 basically, because I said once a person is older, say if they was a couple and they get older, right, past 40 or whatever, and they getting boring with their sex life or whatever, maybe they want to try something new. It's no argument, it's no debate. I don't know what are you talking about here. Like for real, everything you're saying, everything I'm saying, Cookie, is speculations. That's all it is. There's nothing. I don't know what you're talking
How is
about.
it a speculation when I sit down and have a conversation with people that call themselves
That
swingers?
because even
Don't you
though
think they would know what swinging is
because
because they
even
participate
though
in it?
people that sit down and have, even though those people that sit down and do that, all do those have those conversations with you, they, I'm sure out of I'm sure out of all of those people, one or two out of all of those people, they're gonna have different preference of, you know what I'm saying, what they like to do while they're swinging, regardless, and being a freak or being a freak. I'm saying to me, they all freak. To me, being a motherfucking swinger is being a freak too, because you got some, it's some freakiness up in there. It's definitely some freakiness up in there. I got to admit, I can't say it ain't. I'm sorry, I can't. I
Okay.
don't agree with that. Now, if you want to say that, and your that's your word, you sticking with it, fine.
A person who engaged in group sex or the swapping of sexual partners. 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 A swinger is a person who engages in sexual activities with others, typically including their partner, outside of a traditional monogamous relationship. This practice, also known as swinging, is a form of ethical non-monogamy where all parties are aware and consenting to non-exclusive sexual activities. Structures where partners are not exclusively sexual or romantically involved with each other. Some couples choose swinging as a lifestyle, engaging in sexual activities with others as a way to spice up their lives, explore new experience, or strengthening their relationship with their partner.
Keyword: not sexually exclusive. So you're not exclusive to just one person or one thing. You
What are you
exclusive.
talking
You're not exclusive to one thing or one person. You exclusive to several trying and doing different things.
with partners?
With it, okay. Okay, if you with somebody that you just in a relationship with, you partnered up with that person, girlfriend, boyfriend, or whatever, in so many words to put it in simplest terms. You go in with another couple that's girlfriend and boyfriend, or even if they was married. You understand? It doesn't matter. You're still partnered up with people. If y'all engage in sexual activities with each other and changing favorites, guess what? Y'all living that swinger life, huh? Y'all on that freaky shit for real, huh? I'm not finna sit here and argue with you about what's freaky and what's not. You know what's freaky and what's not freaky. Come on now. You looking at the fact of if you're looking at the fact of what's freaky, and I say, hey, can I turn around? Can you turn around? Can I stick it in your booty hole? And that's being the only thing of the only source of being a freak. Then no, that's not right because if partner want to say the same thing or whatever, it's different things. No, but I don't. That's why I don't have that life. I don't have that kind of life, so it don't matter. It don't have. It don't matter because I don't have that kind of life, baby. I was just saying. I was just saying. I was just saying. But before we wrap it up, y'all, man, I could never, man, this picture right here. You see this picture right here? Or right here? It look like what do you think? What Cassie doing? What she messing with? It's like a bag or something, like a little overnight bag or something.
Yeah.
You know what? I wouldn't have ran up on her ass. I would assume that she was going for some mace or a knife or something. I wouldn't have. And he ran out there with his motherfucking with a towel on. I would have never ran up on her like that. You know what I'm saying? I would assume there was some next level shit for real. Ain't no way I would have ran up on her. And she's white. She's white. And that's another reason too that I say that because about the people being swingers and being at the age of 40, because most people that believe in that kind of swinger life like that, Cookie, and those are a lot of those people, not all, but a lot of those people be white people. You know what I mean? They do be. Hey, they created it. They bought that. They started that shit. We didn't start it. That didn't start in our shit.
No, I don't know who started it. I never like. It's your own preference. I don't know if it has a color to it.
Yeah, once it got to that point, then it became to putting a name on it. You know what I'm saying? Just became to the point where making an agreement of it and saying that it was okay to do it. You know what I'm saying? If that was your preference or whatever.
So did you research that?
No, it's not researching it ain't gonna researching it only researching it of what the biological what the dictionary what Google gonna say of it is only a speculation too of what they say. It's not those are people. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. It's all speculation. It's what the people who that make Google that put these definitions out here for us to understand and whatever. This is all speculations. Speculations. It's nothing written stone saying that that's exactly what it is. Regardless. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you said that they're the one that started it. How do you know that?
Because shit, they the ones who started out back in the days when it was in the slavery days, goddamn it, when they were believing raping our women and everything, running trains on our women, thinking it was okay to do that. Being forced to do this kind of things. Some of them was listen to what I'm saying. Some of them was probably being you had the master up in the house, you know what I'm saying? You got the people who was you got the master in the house where he got a wife up in the crib or whatever, and then he got the help lady on the side or whatever. Shit, hell, only thing stopping them from being called a swinger is what? They're not doing it all in the same bedroom. They just cheating, right? Or whatever. But if they was all in the same goddamn bedroom, then you swinging. Shit. Some of them probably was swinging, and all in the same bedroom. I'm just saying. Hey, hey, look, I'm only 5'4", baby. I don't know. I ain't never did all this. These are allegations. Ain't nothing written in stone.
Mm.
Nothing written in stone, baby. Nothing written in stone. But yeah, I appreciate everybody that came out, hang out with me and Cookie, came over here to kick it with us, and you know, sometimes because I always over here with me and Cookie, it's always gonna be a fist fight, fist fight. Nah, but it's all good though. I appreciate everybody that came through to come hang out with us. You know, we just had to get this part out the way. You know what I mean? We got more to come. We're gonna be following up. So strap up, Cookie. Get your game tight together, baby. Cause we on our way. We on our way. I don't like I said, you know, I mentioned you before that I don't think this I don't think this gonna be that many. I don't think this case gonna be that, you know, it's cause this trial gonna be that long though, because it ain't that many different entities in it. It's not unlike the YSL trial or nothing, or you know, that other guy. What's his name? Tory
So
Lanez.
what you think it's only gonna be about 3 weeks?
No. I ain't gonna put no limit on it. I just don't think it's gonna be long. That's all I'm gonna say. Because I don't know. But if you wanted me to put a time limit on it, I'm gonna say longer than 3 weeks. Of course. Yes. Longer than 3 weeks, of course. I mean, you know, P. Diddy done switched lawyers and everything. He got top dogs up in there. He got top dogs in there, and there's still a chance if he sees something not looking right and the lawyers looking like they being biased, well, he still got time to change. He could change lawyers at any point of given time. And so, you know, all of that counts. You know what I mean? So,
So
not
you
saying that's
think he
going to be
would?
the case, but
Oh, okay.
that whatever you say that you say what now, baby? That I think that he what?
That he would change up lawyers in the midst of his
I
trial.
really don't. You know what? I can't speak too much about it, but I can say he got good lawyers right now. These are all top gun dogs. So right here, what he got. I forget their names and shit, but um, you know, all I can say is once you know what, I give a response to that degree of what I think about the lawyers. I give that response next week when we get into when we do live next week or whatever when we get into that because I might uh I don't know tomorrow maybe the next following day or whatever I want to come back and do another live and catch up just catch up on these jurors and stuff and just give a little bit of an update keep people enticed and coerced and see what's going just to give them a little something to see what's going on and hey you look y'all we all learning we learning.
Well, here's a side note. I don't know if anybody heard. I'm pretty sure they have by now. But I had came across a little. I guess you could say it was an article, a clip about now they coming after old Smokey. Now I think Smokey got to be. He's probably in his 70s by now, and evidently there's four. I think women that are accusing him of uh, sexual assault who worked for him. I haven't, read and seen what was really going on, with just the headlines that said it. And I was like, oh my God, they coming out the little Smokey, old green eyed Smokey. Like, this is getting crazy. But hopefully it's just some bull crap. Like I said, I don't want to hear nothing about things that happened 20, 30 years ago. That's just getting so old and played out. I don't know. I don't know. So I guess I gotta do my research and see what is Smokey into. What was he trying to do? What power play was he trying to make moves on? Because normally when something like this happens, especially with these older men, um, they got to be trying to, invest in something that somebody don't want them to have power in. But I could be wrong. I mean, Smokey was cool back in his days and still is in his own little way. But I can't wait to see what that's all about and how much caption might be drawn to it. But it's crazy. It's really crazy. I'm a true believer. I don't really like to look at things in a race way, but it just boggles my mind to we're always hearing, especially when it stays in the news, it's always our people, our men. We might hear a story. I think, what was his name? The last one we heard. Oh my God, what was his name? See, that just shows. We heard about it for like a week, and I only seen it in the news maybe twice that week, and then it was gone. I'm trying to remember who the heck it was, and I can't because there was no more news about it. There was no more talk about it. But when it comes to our brothers, oh, they stay in the news. Weeks, months, years, and then, there's a case. It just, I don't know. And I try not to think like that because I love everybody. And, I don't look at race. But when things like this happen, especially, like I said, when they dig up stuff that's happening 30 years ago, I'm like, what the hell? So I'm pretty sure whatever this is going to be something about that happened back in the 70s and the 80s, maybe the 90s at the most. So it's just sad. Smokey Robinson? Are you serious?
Yeah, definitely, baby.
Yeah. Yep. What can you do though? But sit back and eat your popcorn.
Yep. That's it. That's all. Hey, anybody check out that that new Lloyd Banks album?
Mm-hmm.
The new Lloyd Banks album. I know you haven't, Cookie. You don't know nothing about this here. This over your head, baby. You don't know about that Lloyd Banks. I want to play this on the outro. But I'd like to appreciate everybody who did come and show up. Once again, like, share, subscribe to the channel. This was quite an interesting conversation and debate. We got much more to come. Maybe hopefully be a lot better next time. You know what I mean? But until then.
Blessings to you all. Y'all have a good night.
My people ain't your ordinary man and woman. In 1982, a blessing landed on them. Then separation came. I tried to understand, but couldn't born with everything that I needed. And turned around and took it. The baby brung this outside. Beautiful morning. The same year, Mike Jack jumped all on him. A goat is growing, same time a goat's performing. National championship for Michael Jordan. For me, it's therapy, not just a recording. Raised in a crime wave, full of temperature soaring. Terrible nights made out of wonderful mornings. The Nike will drop the Air Force Ones, wonder who bought them. Product changing on your TV, Letterman talking. The same year they would drop the CD, replace the Walkman. The game is the same, but the names are changing often through disruption, corruption, destruction, extortion. Success is calling you. The haters hate the sound. From the city of the heartless niggas trying to make it out. Shit won't stay the same, the world is changing now. And you ain't gonna get no do-overs, there's no mistakes allowed. To get ahead in life, you gotta shake the crowd. Dedication's looking for you, time for you to take the vow. Here's your opportunity to take the crown. Am I my brother's keeper? Gotta be my neighbor's foul.
In 82, my pops had the Benz in navy blue. When Big Champ had them shootouts with Crazy Lou. See, back then, even the runners had Mercedes too. Crazy Lou killed Champ and said, look what you made me do. Crack hit the neighborhood, that's when Reagan grew. That's when Pay the Full made stacks relatable. That's debatable, cause Tony Montana was cast to play the wolf, and that's what blacks related to. Those traps we made it through, bless your soul. Cause my only X and O's was in Tecmo Bowl. Mike was off the wall with that techno soul. My brother made it a thriller with them Texie soul. I bet he cherished every breath he blowed. I bet he did. And when he perished, I eventually showed. Couldn't touch none of my growth with a 10-feet pole. Made a choice to die on his feet. It's the death he chose. Whoa.
Success is calling you. The haters hate the sound. From the city of the heartless niggas trying to make it out. Shit won't stay the same. The world is changing now. And you ain't gonna get no do-overs. There's no mistakes allowed. To get ahead in life, you gotta shake the crowd. Dedication's looking for you. Time for you to take the vow. Here's your opportunity to take the crown. Am I my brother's keeper? Gotta be my neighbor's foul. I never seen the gossip they important. I can never see my friends as enemies. I'm praying for them. The battle starts within first. The brain is warring. What are you really yearning for? The fame or fortune? Problems wear into your body. You need a new masseuse. 38 and playing Bishop. I had too much juice. From where the talent scouts and lose recruits. It's to the point where they really shooting. No room for hoops. I'm always up to par. Ain't never mad at who produced. Double back to pick up the pieces. Had some screws come loose. Now we cruising coops. One of the greatest move for booth. 20 in and niggas can't out with me, I'm loser proof. New slaves to habit, strong men became an addict. Women lost their way along the timeline, but Reagan had it. Suffering from the laws of attraction, cause pain's a magnet. Money buys you everything except peace, can't pay to have it. Success is calling you, the haters hate the sound. From the city of the heartless niggas trying to make it out. Shit won't stay the same, the world is changing now. And you ain't gonna get no do-overs, there's no mistakes allowed. To get ahead in life, you gotta shake the crowd. Dedication's looking for you, time for you to take the vow. Here's your opportunity to take the crown. Am I my brother's keeper? Gotta be my neighbor's foul.
Yeah, make sure y'all go check out that Lloyd Banks, that his new album, his new album. You see the title right there, AON. I forgot what that stands for. I forgot. I ain't gonna even lie to y'all. Lloyd Banks is different. Different kind of splitter from New York. You know what I mean? But y'all make sure y'all check that out, man. My boy Lloyd Banks. And once again, I appreciate everybody coming in, checking out. You know what I'm saying? Come to represent with your boy DB Wild and your girl Cookie. Cookie the Real 717. Make sure y'all go like, share, and subscribe to her channel too for me, please. All right? Until then, we'll be back in about another day or two, y'all, with another update, okay? So until then, I'll check y'all out later, all right? 2 fingers. I'm only 5'4".